So this is the day 2 of Linux. Yesterday what we have discussed about what is Linux operating system, right? How Windows we will be having an operating system. Same Linux is also one type of operating system. And I told you we will play with terminal, right, in Linux. So what is the terminal we are going to discuss right away, right? Shell and terminal. What is this shell and terminal? So when we speak of the command line, we are referring to shell. So command line is nothing but a terminal, right? Whenever we speak about the command line, nothing but we are referring to a shell. So what is shell? Shell is a program that will takes command and passes them to operating system to carry out. Okay. What is this shell? Shell is nothing but one type of program. I told you, right? Everything whatever you run in Windows, it will run as a process. How that process will be created? It will be created as a program. So in the same way, shell is also one type of program. It will take commands and passes them to operating system. So almost all the distributions, a shell program called as bash is supplied. What I told, distribution is nothing but it's a operating system. So I told you right yesterday how ice cream you will be having a flavors, different flavors, right? Butterscotch, vanilla. In the same way, in Linux also you will be having different types of distribution. For all the distributions, most commonly used shell are called as bash. What is this bash? We will going to learn in upcoming days. So to interact with shell, we need a terminal, right? How Windows has command CMD, right? PowerShell, command prompt, like that Linux has a shell. So if you see the snippet of command prompt, PowerShell, Windows PowerShell, right? Now we are going to discuss what are the prerequisites for Linux. In order to learn the Linux, what you needed. So you need to have a git bash. You need to download the git bash software in your Windows operating system if you are using, right? You need to download the Visual Studio Code, and you need to have an AWS free tier account, and you need to have one Linux OS, Linux operating system where we are going to play. So if you see, this is the Visual Studio Code snippet, this is the git bash snippet. And anyway, after completing the slides, I'm going to show how to create, right, how to create this, like how to download this softwares. Okay, now how to create an EC2 instance in AWS, nothing but a one server. First you need to go to aws.amazon.com and you need to give your email ID and password, right? Just go to aws.amazon.com, click on sign into the console, then it will display this page. Try to give your email ID and your password. After that you will have this home page, so you can directly search for EC2 service. So EC2 is service, using that we can able to create a servers, nothing but virtual machines. In AWS he will call it as EC2 instance, right? If you compare with real life example, how we are going to use applications, booking applications to book a food from online, in the same way AWS is also one type of online website where you can able to create your servers. So once you click on that EC2, you will get this page. Just click on this instances. Once you click on this instances, click on launch instance, right? You need to select any operating system. So in this class we are going to choose Ubuntu. Why only Ubuntu? Ubuntu is the most used Linux server all over the world, and it's very easy, and for beginners Ubuntu is a user friendly and you can practice. And leave it default, you will get this image AMI, nothing but Amazon machine image. Just leave it, you can choose this, and then after it will ask for instance type, right? Just leave it default T2 micro. T2 micro is more than enough for this session. Then after it will ask for key pair. So if you are creating the first time, you need to create a new key pair. Just click on new key pair, then you need to give the name for your key pair. Just click RSA, just click on PEM, just create key pair. Your key pair will be created. Then after you need to select your key pair. Okay, I will select my key pair which I have created. You need to select your key pair which you have created. Then after leave it, right? By default you will get this option. Just leave it and just click on launch instance, and you can create any number of instances. It will ask for how many number of instances you want. By default it will be 1. If you give 10, it will create 10 servers, nothing but 10 operating systems. Now for now I just want one, so then after you will get this success. Once you get success, click on this, right? Just click here, then it will take you to a new tab. Then after, once you instance state was running, you need to click on connect. So once you click on connect, you will get a command. So before that, you need to download a Git software, right? How to download that Git, I will going to show, right? You will get this. Go to SSH client, copy this command, and you need to paste this command in the Git bash. So you need to open your Git bash in the folder where your PEM file was present. Right, if you see, I have downloaded the PEM file. I have copied that PEM file into this Linux folder. So that's the reason I am opening the Git bash in this folder. You need to right click and open Git bash here. So whenever you install Git, you will get this option. Right, if you install Visual Studio Code, you will get this Visual Studio Code option. If you don't install, you will not get this option. Right, and don't comment, right, I am not getting this option. You need to install in your system, then only you will get these two options. Anyway, I am going to show how to download this. So then after copy pasting the command, it will ask for yes or no. Just click yes and click on enter. Once you click on enter, you will get this page. So this first Linux command is clear. If you enter clear, it will clear the screen. So clear is a command, Linux command. It will clear the terminal. Okay. So before that, I need to discuss about the standard input and output. So if you see, this is the terminal, right? Whatever you pass the commands, it is called as standard input. Whatever the output you are getting, right, that is called as standard output. That's it. Right? What are the streams are very flexible. The source of input streams can be a file, device, right? Output stream of the process. So what is this streams and all we are going to discuss in upcoming days, right? That nothing but say input and output. So the most commonly used Linux command are, right, there is a date, ls, touch, mkdir, and there are many commands which we are going to discuss, but today I will just show you basic commands. Okay, date, ls, these things we are going to discuss. But if you see, whenever you log in, you can see this dollar symbol. Dollar symbol is nothing but a normal user. If you enter sudo -i, then it will go to a root user, right? It is not a Ubuntu, it is root user, nothing but it will have a superpower. The black screen whatever you are seeing, it is called as a terminal. So here only we are going to execute Linux commands. Okay, this is called it as terminal. So whenever you enter, it will pass to shell, bash shell, right? Shell will go send this request to operating system. So if you say date command will displace the date. ls command will display the list of files, right? If you enter ls-la, it will show you the hidden files as well. So one more important topic was Linux directory structure, which we already discussed yesterday, right? Linux directory structure, nothing but you will be having root directory, right? Bin directory, etc, home, /opt, /temp, /user, /var, right? And what is the task? You need to experiment with these commands, which is touch. Yesterday I have told you to experiment, right? mkdir, rmdir, like this you need to experiment with this command. So try to practice on this. Anyway, I'm going to discuss. So this is the basic directory structure. So if I want to continue this more, you need to support me, right? You can use this UPI ID and for the payment, and I will be having a mobile number as well, 8500 411 and you can call to this number for online DevOps training, or you can use the same number for Google Pay and Phone Pay. And now I will tomorrow I'm going to show you the Linux commands, and today also I will going to discuss some basic commands. Okay, now I will show you how to download this Git and Visual Studio Code for your Windows system. Just search Git download in your Chrome browser. Okay, then you can see gitscm.com. Click on this link. So then after, just click on download for Windows. it will start download. So I will not download because I already downloaded. Then you can just click on, double click, you can install. Then after Visual Studio Code download. Okay, go to code.visualstudiocode.com. Okay, then if you are using Windows, click on here, you will get a zip file, right? Then just you double click, install. Visual Studio Code will be installed, right? For Linux, for Mac, this is the set of files. So once you have done, now I will create an server in AWS cloud. For that, what you need to do, aws.amazon.com. Yes. So once you go to this page, as per the snippet I have already shown you, right? You will be get an option here, sign into the console. Okay. Let it load. Okay. Just click on sign into the console. Okay, I told you, right? You can directly search for EC2 here, or you will get a recently visited. So whenever you search for EC2, virtual servers in the cloud, right? You can create any server in the AWS cloud. So I will click on this EC2. You will get this dashboard. I will click on instances. So let it load. Okay, I will click on this instances. So after getting the instances, so right, you will get a option called as launch instance. Click on launch instance. Once you click on launch instance, I told you, right, you will get an Amazon machine image. There we are going to choose a Ubuntu. Okay, click on Ubuntu. So leave default Ubuntu 22. You can choose any version of Ubuntu. I will just leave it default. Okay, and it will ask for instance type, right? It will automatically take T2 micro. Leave it as it is, don't do anything. It will ask for key pair. You can create your new key pair, right? You give your name, right? Just click on create key pair, give any name, so Linux, like that. If you just click on create key pair, it will create it. I will not create because I already created many key pairs, right? I will select only EK8s. So leave this option default. Okay, and it will ask for number of instances. For now I just want one EC2 instance. I will leave it default. Click on launch instance. So you will get success. Once you get success, what you need to do, we have already discussed, right? You need to click on this. It will go to new tab, and once your instance state was converted into a running, then you need to connect, right? Okay, it will take some time to create. Let's wait. Yeah, it's running. Okay, I will select on this server. So I told you, right, you need to download the Git. Without Git you cannot able to log in. So I will click on connect. Go to SSH client. Just copy this. Copied, right? Command copied. I will go to the like location where my ekh.pem file was located. So if you see my pem file was, I just copied. By default it will downloads in downloads folder. So just copy and take in your folder. So I have pasted here. I will just click, right click, git bash here. Okay, I will maximize this terminal. Just enter, shift enter to copy paste. In git you need to enter shift enter, right? Again enter. It will ask yes, no, just give yes, right? Right, you are inside the Ubuntu server. Okay, first Linux command which we are going to learn today was clear. Clear is a command to clear your terminal. So this is called it as a terminal. Clear, enter, right? So this dollar user is nothing but an Ubuntu normal user. If you enter sudo -i, this is the root user, right? Basic Linux command, if you enter date, it will display the date, right? If you enter ls-la, it will give the list of files and as well as hidden files. Okay, if you want to create any file, you can use touch command. Touch file name demo.txt. okay, if you enter ls-la, right, if you just enter ls also, you can find the demo.txt file was created, right? Now I will come back to the slides, right? I have shown you, right, how to create this virtual machines. Let me check whether did I missed anything, did I skip anything for installing. I told you, right, whatever the input you are giving ls, this is a standard input. Whatever the output you are getting demo.txt, it's a standard output. So I will just enter whatever I want, right? Command not found. So you cannot enter whatever you want, you need to enter the right command. So if you enter other whatever you want, it will just throw you an error. This is called a standard error, right? What is the output you are getting, it is called a standard output. So that one also we have discussed. Now okay, this clear command I have discussed, standard input output I have discussed, right? Date command sudo -i already we have discussed. Linux directory structure, which is very important, we have already discussed, right? If you like this, you can scan this and you can do the payment, and I will, let's meet again in the next video. Before that, don't go away. I will click on exit exit to come out of the server. Exit exit, right? I just came out of the server. So I will show you how to delete this, totally delete this EC2 instance. Server, you have created the server, you need to delete the server, right? Okay, go to EC2 dashboard. I will click on EC2 dashboard. Okay, there is some stopped instances, avoid it, which I have created and stopped. So I will go to instances again. You go just to EC2 dashboard, click on instances, right? One instance was running. I will click on this. I will click on this, right? Once you do the practice, just terminate, because don't leave it away. Terminate this. Anyway, it's free server, but don't leave it. Try to terminate. If something happens, you might get bills. So if you terminate it, this server will totally removed. Then you will be on the safe place, right? Successfully terminated, right? If you get this, you are successfully terminated. Still try to wait. So it will be automatically terminated, and you can now go and play, right? Now let's meet again tomorrow for the next tutorial on Linux. Tomorrow what we are going to discuss Linux commands for DevOps engineer. We are going to discuss some deep dive. Okay, thanks.